sports listeners. I'm your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
This whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes. Woo! And we're talking all athletes. Okay, woo! I tell you, it's a little misty outside today. I could feel the fall weather creeping up upon us. Santa Barbarians, thank you for tuning in, whether you're coming or going or having a cup of coffee, whatever. But let's check out globally. We have Ashburn, Boardman, Council Bluffs, Brussels, Frankfurt, Dublin, Ukaipa, and Ojai. Don Sanders, we got Ojai in there. Talk to me. That's all you, probably.
Could be, but
you're building a little nest.
Yes, word
You're
of
telling
mouth.
Everybody. Woo!
Word of mouth travels fast. Yes,
that's it. You got a hygga for us today?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, Dominique Hackett's in the house. And we've got Sky Ellsworth and his friend Sonia from
Life West College. West College, Chiropractic College.
You! All right, fantastic. Emily is supposed to be here. We're not sure, so she's in and out. But if not, we'll just make everything all happen. Next week, we're going to have Stephanie Forrester's back. She's going to give us the latest and greatest updates, what's going on with the numbers in our community activists. So I'm looking forward to that. Dr. D is in the house. Dr. D, how is your week so far? How are you hanging in?
So far, it's going very nicely. Having a good time doing all of the different little projects I've got going on, but also taking time to get away from the radio station, away from the building, take a walk down State Street, get down to the beach, and listen to what the ocean has to say. I just listen. I don't have to listen for my name. I'm just listening to the ocean to hear what it has to say. And we all need to take time to do that.
Nice. I got to say, we've done this juicing thing, been talking about it for weeks. It's a game changer. Dominique, how do you like the juicing? Juicing! Juicing is in!
Oh, wow. It's fabulous to take in all that life energy. It's absolutely fabulous. But we make sure when we juice, we add celery with the carrots. And we do a combination. But this week we put in turmeric, fresh turmeric with the fresh ginger. Really, really awesome. But I wanted to give a shout out to Santa Barbara City College when Dr. D was talking about the ocean. If you haven't considered it, that was one of the delightful things about going to SBCC for teens. You get to take classes and then come outside and sit and listen to the ocean while you're doing your homework. I loved going to SBCC. So I just want to put a plug out there to the teens to consider SBCC for their first 2 years. It was really enjoyable.
Nice. Beautiful. Yeah, and it's a great option for kids who I wouldn't even use it as an option of not knowing what you want. I mean, that school a few years back was the number one CC in the country. They have a promise program right now. So if you are a local, you get to go there for no cost. And why imprison yourself to debt? That's just my answer. So
the no cost is for teen graduates.
Yes, local teen graduates. And I just go ahead, Dr.
And if you exercise in their stadium, you get a gorgeous ocean view while you do stairs, or if you use the track. It's quite the great place to work out. I used to go there my daughter would go there with me.
And the UCSB professors, they do a dual. I mean, a lot of them teach over at SBCC and at UCSB. So you can really, they have these bridges where you can get most of your stuff done at SBCC and spend very little dollars finishing up at UCSB. So you can't beat it, guys. I mean, at the end of the day, it's, you have to look at the economics of everything. I mean, I'm very happy to say that both of my boys finished school, college. One completely graduated, top in his class. Joe did 50%. and then ended up getting a job, worked there now 13 years, actually sold a piece of property that he bought when he was in his early 20s, and now has a beautiful, nice nest egg because they didn't carry around all that debt. So yeah, it's really nice. Oh, I got accepted to all these top brand schools, but you're going to have $250,000 on debt that you'll never be able to pay off. I mean, parents don't, I don't know. I got accepted to UCLA and Cornell as a freshman. My father said, you know something, you're going to go to Long Beach State, but I promise you that your degree, you will be proud of it. And if I look on my wall in my office, it says Westmont, and I'm very proud of that. And I didn't have any debt when I finished because I worked the first 2 years and it really helped me. And then I got to play the sports the second 2 years when I was at Westmont. So everyone has a different road, but think about that. It's very, very important. Emily is in the house. How you doing, Em?
I'm so grateful to be here on Teen Sport Radio. Woo-hoo!
I know you're going to do a section. What are you going to call it?
This is Teen Tones with Emily the Songbird. Yeah. Super excited. I've been working. I've got my glasses. I'm off.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay, so let's get busy. Right now in the house, we've got waving to us 2 students from Life Chiropractic School from Dominique. It's such a long name. What is it called?
Oh, Life West Chiropractic School in San Francisco.
Okay.
Guy and Sonia.
All right, let's get to these guys right after these messages.
Wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like a lemon drops high.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
9 a.m.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Sky Ellsworth with from Life Chiropractic College West, and I am here with Sonia, and we are both students there. And today we thought we'd talk to you a little bit about teeth, something that very often gets overlooked, and there are a lot of interesting ideas and misconceptions about how we should take care of our teeth when that comes to dental work, cosmetic work, and just regular teeth brushing, teeth flossing, mouthwash. So many cool directions we can go with this. So we just thought we might give you some ideas from our own experience and our own knowledge for how we can take care of our teeth. So I thought that as a first topic, it might be fun to talk a little bit about teeth structurally. So structurally, teeth are pretty cool. You have dentin on the inside, which is kind of like a cement. And then around that, you have the enamel. And then, of course, you have the blood flow and circulation on the very, very inside of that dentin. And that's what is connecting it, what's holding all the nerves, and then connecting that into the gums and the alveolar process and all the other nerves in the body that are regulating what happens. Now, teeth are pretty cool because in the archaeological record, teeth last the longest, which is pretty cool. You can find them for up to something like 20,000 years later. You can dig them up in the soil, and then you can actually look at the layers of enamel to figure out how long someone was alive. Reason being is it's so cool. Our body excretes a new layer of enamel every single year. So just like aging a tree with rings, you can look at a tooth and count each individual layer of enamel. There are little lines to figure out how long someone was alive. And that's really cool. Yeah. Because how we take care of our bodies determines how well that enamel gets produced and how much of it gets produced. So we're always brushing our teeth, right? We try to do that, a couple times a day. A lot of different types of toothpaste we can use, mouthwash. So, Sonia, I wanted to ask you from your experience, what is your teeth routine? What do you do when you take care of your teeth?
My tooth care routine has varied from time to time. I used to just brush my teeth with baking soda. It neutralizes acids, especially if I ate something sugary and I didn't want it to have an effect on the enamel. I would just put a baking soda in there real quick so neutralize the acid. But better than that is just to avoid sugary food in the first place. I do floss regularly. I've been flossing since my early 20s. A dentist explained to me the importance of clearing of the bacteria. I didn't understand the value of that. And at first the gums bled a little bit, and that's because of the presence of bacteria. But yeah, I mean, I think I was asking you earlier too, what about, antiseptic mouthwashes? Am I removing good flora from my mouth if I'm using something so strong, versus just manually brushing with baking soda and then flossing or using, a simple ingredient toothpaste of some kind?
So that's interesting. So my dental routine is a little bit different, but it's really kind of cool because both of our dental routines target the same issues. So my dental routine, I actually use an ozonated toothpaste. So a toothpaste that has ozone O3 inside of it. And it does the same thing that flossing does, where the ozone will actually go in and get rid of all of that bad bacteria. That bad bacteria can slow down that enamel production we were talking about earlier, and that bad bacteria can give you bad breath. We're actually swallowing that bacteria every single day. It can lead to stomach problems. If there's any plaque in our teeth, when we swallow that plaque, that goes into our stomach and it's undigestible. It can end up in our bloodstream and lead to heart problems. So our teeth are really, really important. So whether that's flossing, using an ozonated toothpaste. Now, when it comes to what you were saying earlier, Sonia, about the actual bacteria mantle that's in our mouths, it's a really interesting topic because a lot of these things that we use, especially mouthwashes, they say on the, like, a bottle of Listerine or something kills 90 something whatever percent of bacteria. And it's interesting because you do ask yourself, well, is that good bacteria or is that bad bacteria? Is it all bad bacteria? Is it all good bacteria? What do I need to have in my mouth, right? So I would strongly recommend not using those harsher products that get rid of all of these different types of bacteria, but rather use something that's going to promote your body's ability to naturally select for the good types of bacteria and have the defenses to get rid of the bad ones. And just regular, maintenance, especially with something like baking soda, is amazing for that. Using some type of essential oils sometimes in a mouthwash can be really great because essential oils actually target specific species of bacteria. So essential oils can get rid of some of the bad ones. Cinnamon is a really great one. Even straight peppermint. I mean, there are reasons that there are toothpastes that have these flavors, right? The problem is that a lot of these toothpastes, they throw in a lot of these other chemicals. And a lot of these other chemicals are things that are getting rid of some of the good bacteria, and we don't want that. When I use ozone, it gets rid of the bad bacteria and some of the good bacteria, but not all of the good bacteria. There's still room for the mouth to repopulate. I use ozone because studies are showing that ozone actually helps to rebuild the enamel. So individuals that have cavities, when they brush with ozone or even use like an ozonated spray or mouthwash on their teeth, that they can actually regrow the bone in those cavities. So there are actually a lot of dentists nowadays that are using ozone pretty regularly in their treatments because you can regrow the bone in cavities. How amazing is that? You can actually take the cavity and your body can naturally fill that hole back in just because you've used ozone.
Wow.
Fascinating.
How long does that take?
It takes a while. I mean, like we're talking years. But the fact is that it can happen, so
Well,
immediately you start using ozone toothpaste.
Is the ozone a toothpaste? I forget, or because you set me up with all the things that I needed to buy, which I did. I'm out of a paste that Dominique is reordering. It looks like a clay, that I've been brushing my teeth with. And then also like the toothbrush. We'll get to the brush in a second, but talk about the ozone. What is that? Is that a liquid or is that in the paste?
So it's in the paste. So the ozonated toothpaste is a toothpaste that is I forget exactly. It's like an emulsification with like nanoparticulates of ozone. So you're actually getting the ozone that's in the toothpaste, and that is going directly on your teeth. But you can also get it as there's like a little thing that's like one of those dentist tools. It's connected to a machine, and it'll actually pump ozone gas out of it. And you don't want to breathe it in, but you just kind of like spray it on your teeth. I know a couple people that do that. Dr. Dale Figtree comes on the show sometimes. We'll use that for ozone. And then you can also get these little tiny things that are like pellets that you can kind of chew, and it's like a clay. And that is also another way to get some of that ozone into your mouth.
I have that. They're like little pellets that are for in place of mouthwash, but you're not supposed to swallow it. You just chew it up and it like bubbles in your mouth, and then you switch it around and spit it out.
Yes, that's exactly. I forget what they're called exactly.
So that would be a
but they're really cool.
for our teen athletes, like after lunch, maybe, like because you're not brushing your teeth, but you could pop one of those in, go to the bathroom, rinse your mouth out, spit it out. That would kind of help.
Yeah, if you want to get a date, absolutely.
Nice. So let's talk about the brush. Like we have a spiral one. We have an electric toothbrush, and we have a spiral one. What? We only got like a minute left. Can you just do a quick little minute on the brush?
Yeah, so personally, I use just a regular mechanical toothbrush, so not one of the electric ones. I don't like to put a whole lot of force into my teeth. It's more so that I don't necessarily need to because I'm using such a powerful product with the ozone. But electric toothbrushes, there's great research to show that they can really get in there and remove mechanically a lot of the bacteria. My argument is that if you're using a good enough toothpaste, you don't really need to. Right. Sonia, what do you use for a toothbrush?
I just use regular brush, but back in the day, I had braces for a while. I used a water pick. That was actually really helpful.
Oh, yeah.
But it's kind of messy. Like you said, if you use the right things on your teeth.
It's great when you
might not need all that extra.
Like Sky. This way you could shoot him if he misbehaves. The water pick.
Yeah, and you can turn the pressure up and down on it too.
There you go. How can we get a hold of you, Sky?
You can send me an email at rellsworth, ELLSWORTH at college.lifewest.edu.
Nice. Well, we're gonna mix it up a little bit this week because we've got Emily Yurchison next, and she's doing some teen tones. Thank you both. Right after these messages.
All you cowboys, get your ride on. Now ride on. All you cowboys, get your ride on. Come on and work it for me and let your body move. We are here together and we're in the groove. We gon' party tonight. We gon' dance around. Where all my steppers at that know how to get down.
Come on, step it to your right. Now step it to your left. Now right out in, left out in.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hi, this is Emily the Songbird, and this is Teen Tones. Dear teens, I'll never forget my first cross-country race, my freshman year in high school. The gun went off. I ran as fast as I possibly could. I left every other runner in the dust for about 150 yards. And then my leg muscles seized up, breath staggered, and I felt like I was moving through peanut butter. I watched as every single person in the race not only passed me by, but kicked dust in my face as they ran so far ahead that I got lost on the trail. Coming in dead last shook me with shame and reminded me of how much of a failure and how lost I felt most of my childhood. It brought back how desperately I wanted to stand out in some way, to be noticed and acknowledged for something I could do or be. And as much as I felt like quitting, a tiny voice inside me said, keep going. I showed up for practice the next day and the next and the next, open and ready to learn. I had never developed the cardio or muscle strength to pace myself physically or the psychological power of believing that I could run faster and longer than I thought and actually believe that I could win. After a grueling season of calf cramps, hellish hill workouts, logging many miles of movement, I slowly began to improve. I felt physically conditioned from the fall of cross country, so I decided to join the track team and put my practice to the test. When I ran my very first race, I exploded out of the blocks and left everyone in the dust. Somehow I knew this time I was going to win. And I did. And
Woo! I like the story. This is a good story.
Race, that season, my confidence completely blossomed, and so did my personality, academic success, and joy. Why, as a musician and music teacher, do I choose to share this story with you? It's the power of practice and being willing and receptive to learn from those sensei, which is the Japanese word for those who have gone before. This is your weekly quest, teens. Breathe 10 deep diaphragmatic breaths. This is like an accordion, right? You breathe deeply when you wake up in the morning and greet the gift of who you are with this miraculous day. Listen first and foremost to that still voice inside of you that is in the process of discovering your gift, or what I call your song. Take note of any intuitive hits for what to explore and try during the day. Explore sound and movement, toning on vowel sounds to relieve stress, singing an inspiring song, dancing to it. Like my cross-country experience, we are all on our hero or heroine's journey of discovering who we are, what our superpowers are, how we want to share our unique gifts, songs with the world. It takes a lot of courage to express what we feel and communicate to others, family, friends, the outer world, what we want and need, and then how to accept when we don't receive it. I'm going to end with a quote, two quotes actually, one from my favorite poet, David White. We are all a sunlit moment come from a long darkness. What moves us always comes from what is hidden. What seems to be said so suddenly has lived in the body for a long, long time. Our life like a breath, then a give and a take, a bridge, a central movement between singing a separate self and learning to be selfless. And here's the second quote. You are becoming the song of your heart. How beautiful it is. And that's a quote by Sonam Kaur. Enjoy this magical and musical day and embrace the adventure of your life. Love, Emily the Songbird.
I got goosebumps. Okay. I
Nice.
swear to God, I have to. You need to open a church. I would be there.
And I mean, I won't set off completely, but I also want, can I make a quick announcement?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm so excited. I have a guitar class, a free guitar class for the community starting October 5th from 5 to 7 on Thursdays at the Isla Vista Community Center for teens and adults. And so my quote for it is discover who you are through playing the guitar.
Beautiful. Oh, that is so good. Whatever we can do. Do you have a flyer? It has to be at least bi-monthly. Fantastic. I am so excited. It's true, though. Everything you said is true. The whole key is not to give up.
Don't give up.
The pace that you go in, it's like I always say, the turtles win the race. I've told my Japanese students, Chinese students, German students, we've taken in students for a decade. And it's like, it's the path. Enjoy the path and enjoy the flowers and the roses, everything on the path. That's the lesson learned, is the path. You know, it's not the race, right? Dominique.
I love it. It's the journey. It's having fun on the journey. I love it. I love it.
Dawn.
Yes, that is when you're, especially from running track, that it's always an inner thing. You know, you want to be able to go all out, but you've also sometimes got to measure yourself and pace yourself. I like what you said. I really like what you said about pacing yourself. And if you don't go outside of that, like too go too hard at it, then you find a level where you can have success.
Yes, it's like Dominique said to Germany. Dominique, we got to take a break. Final thoughts.
Just real fast. Emily, it's so great to share how painful it is when you do the running, because it's a shock if you've never done it before. So teens, if you have not tried out for cross country or track, it is a shock when your body goes from aerobic to anaerobic, and getting used to that switching. It's like switching tanks. Maybe Don can add some more about that on the next section, but it's good to talk about it, because when you first feel it, it is quite a shock.
Em, all I got to say is you were very brave, and I love that story, and I hope you touch somebody's heart. And the bottom line is to don't give up, okay? Honestly, take it personally, because you really grew out of it. You really learned out of it. Because of that, it affected your grades, your friendships, your relationships, and it made you grow as a being in spiritual, your character, everything was enhanced because of that step forward that you took. That's an amazing story. Thank you for sharing. Let's take a little break. We got a hygga with Don Sanders after these messages.
I hear a song that takes me back, and I let go with so much freedom.
And this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
This is Don Sanders for Teen Sports Radio and Don's Massage, ohai.com. I'm here to share a hygga with you. A hygga is a Scandinavian term for an experience that gives you a comfy, cozy feeling like receiving a hug, only without the physical hug. And so a couple of weeks ago, I said I wanted to double back on a really good Netflix program called Live to 100, Secrets from the Blue Zones, which are areas in the world where people live well over 100 in some cases, but a lot of people live to at least 100, which is pretty remarkable. We actually have one here in California. But I just wanted to share a little bit, also in the context of what's already been shared on the show, about the group in Okinawa. And so teens, we all want to shine as individuals, yes, but we can't do big things alone. I mean, there's times like as in Emily's experience about the track, it's just you out there, but everything that got you there and everything that got you ready, those are things that we can't always figure out alone. We need tips, we need techniques, we need to develop discernment. Two different things can look exactly the same, but one thing doesn't quite get it, and the other thing is something we really need. So about this, in Okinawa, the things that there's a similarity between all the 6 places that they profile. And if you have access to that show, I heartily recommend it. But in Okinawa, they're big on medicinal foods. And if you haven't studied about that, there's these segments here with Sky Ellsworth will give you some pointers and some clues as to what you can do to get started. But the more you can get your medicine from your food, the better. And so you have to be really careful about your food choices. And any athlete knows you want to maximize nutrients and get the most energy you can without sacrificing quality. And so they, along that lines, they have caloric dense foods. So they have these great stir fries, and then they use all healthy ingredients. So you feel it's delicious and you feel really full, but you didn't get it in a way that had processed things that make you feel full, but you didn't really get any nutrition. It's just exactly the opposite. It's all great ingredients, and you have this caloric density that makes you feel like you had a richly satisfying meal, even though it's really good for you. And there's a term of theirs, parahatibu, which actually means don't eat once you know you're 80% full. Don't go all the way full. And balance. that's like in life balance. Like they garden, they walk, they get together and they laugh with their friends. And if they know, and some of them play music and they play music together. And then Moai, they actually have, the community actually comes together to take care of each other. You know, not everybody has family around, not everybody has means. And so they actually help shore up wherever their friends in their community are having shortfalls. Are they eating enough? Do they have what they need for medical care? Do they need some help sometimes financially? And they actually work that out as a group to be able to support each other when people don't have family and such to take care of that. And then the last one is ikigai, which means that you have mission and a purpose in your life. So as a young person, you know, you may not have a grand vision for your life yet, but you can usually see enough examples around you of like, hey, I don't want to be like that, or I do want to be like that. And sometimes it's tough because you think, oh, if I'm not like that, maybe I won't have any friends. But then you realize, here's where that discernment thing comes in again, that I still want to go with that. I still want to do, I feel that that's what's right. And then you find that you maybe make better and more solid friends. Some of them may last for a lifetime. So anybody, has anybody else in the crew here seen that show or want to chip in?
I haven't seen that particular show, but I'm always so interested in every news article that comes out about how we can live our life in such a way that we live for a very long time with a high quality of health. So I love everything that you're saying. And food as medicine, if that's the one thing that you put on your refrigerator, it will change your relationship to your refrigerator.
Yeah. I know you're an ardent practitioner of that.
Well, we got a lot of that from you though, Don, because don't think that anybody that does stuff, but you're talking about your garden, you talk about your herbs, you talk about your fruits, your vegetables. I mean, Don, every time you say that, every show, the next thing Dominique does is she jumps in the garden. See, so like we're all connected. Same thing with Alex. Remember that one show where everybody had their weeds and everything? I'm guaranteeing you after the show, by that Sunday, everybody's garden was meticulous and beautiful because we all connect. We all ignite each other.
Yeah, and so teens. Oh, go ahead.
I want to make a plug, Don, for your massage. Teens, if you've never had a massage, you want to go to someone like Don because he talks to you about the relationship of what you're eating and what you're drinking, you know, enough water and so forth, and what's happening with the muscles in your body. And it's such a great education to get a massage from someone who is an athlete and understands how food and water are affecting what you're feeling in your body.
You get your personal consultant, and then you can listen to Emily Yurchison in the background. Okay, just listen to Teen Sports Radio, and you got it all. Okay.
Yeah, the teen app for the teen athletes, make sure like water isn't always enough just to quench your thirst. Chilled water is more effective at replenishment than room temperature or warm. And try to add some really good electrolytes to them. I use a thing called, it's getting very widespread now, but LMNT, say it like element. And it has sodium, potassium, and salt. And I drink a couple cups of coffee a day, but sometimes if I'm really under the gun, I have more. But I found that since I've been supplementing with element in my water, it keeps me at an even energy level because I do body work. I take care of a yard and, everything's physical. Go to the gym. I still do all that. So, yeah, keep that in mind. Get the
I love it.
I want to give a quick plug. We got to go to break. We got Heather Bond after this messages. But if you haven't checked it out, Delicious, Nutritious, and Simple by Dr. Dale Figtree. She's a local nutritionalist here. It's an awesome book. I got it for my birthday. We got Heather Bond after these messages.
Sounds of silence. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs that voices never share. No one dares
back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
9 a.m.
Hello there. Good morning. It is Heather Bond with Trekking Ambassadors, and I am here today with a former West Point and All-Army wrestler. He happens to be the Dos Pueblos wrestling coach, Matt Bernard. And I've also got two wrestlers in the house today, both seniors. We've got Sean Vague. He is a last year's Channel League champ. And unfortunately, he didn't get to CIF because he had an injury, but he's here to talk to us a little bit more today about this upcoming season. We also have Victoria Bernard, and she is a senior as well. And she is she's both a Channel League champ and a CIT champ. She is also, she came in fourth at the CIF, and she went 2 for 2 at the Masters. So I have them ready just to answer a few questions here. We're just in preseason right now. We are out here at Dos Pueblos, and preseason is always a little different. So I'm gonna ask them what. I want Sean to tell me like what he feels is really the most important aspect of preseason training, and because it's different than in season, and we'll get to that in a bit. So Sean, tell me just a little bit, what is it something that you focus on for preseason wrestling?
I believe that mental toughness is a key to having a great start to a season and also having a great season overall.
Okay, excellent. So give me a couple ideas, just a couple of things that you personally do to get ready and prepare. Just like give me a physical and a mental preparedness that you do.
Physically, I kind of just stay physically in shape. I keep running. Mentally, I'm listening to a lot of motivational speakers. I started I don't know if I can speak about this, but the Bible. I read a lot of the Bible.
Awesome. Well, there's a lot of great stuff in there. And what is something that you really draw from on that?
Belief.
Right. Got to believe in yourself and have that faith in the foundation for sure. Absolutely. Okay, excellent. So I've got Victoria up. And Victoria, what I'd like to know is, for you, what do you find like the most challenging aspect of preseason? Because again, like I mentioned, I know it's a little different from once you get going into season, which again we're going to talk about. But what do you find the most challenging on that?
I find the most challenging just keeping the right pace, because I don't want to peak too soon and kind of just fizzle out during my season. So it's just finding the right balance.
Okay. So give me for instance. So now we're in preseason. So what are you physically actually right now? What are you physically? How many hours are you putting in the wrestling room?
I'm putting hours in every day, even outside the room with lifting. And so I'm just working on getting stronger right now and practicing fundamentals and technique.
Okay. Awesome. Which actually leads me to the next question that I've said a couple times. So what do you guys, I'm going to ask each one of you, but what is it that you think is different in your training aspect from preseason to now we're going to be getting into full season? How does that training shift for you? Sean, I'll go with you first.
I believe the training shifts and just honestly keeping our minds right and just kind of getting in shape, because all of our guys are out of shape. And so
in preseason. Okay. So right now, so you're saying conditioning is the focus.
Conditioning and just technique.
Okay. And now once season gets underway, how does that shift for you?
For me, it's just keep my head down and keep grinding. Only what I can do on the mat. The coaches can do what they want to do. They can teach me moves, but I got to put it together And by focusing and doing what I'm coached to do, I'll get it done.
Now, are you mainly just focusing on like the next tournament, the next match? Are you lifting still, or are you just really focusing on the technique in your mat work?
Doing mat work, technique, keep sure my conditioning is in shape. I'm lifting 4 to 5 times a week. And it's just, I'm doing everything.
Okay, Victoria, does that waver a little bit for you at all, or are you doing the same similar format?
Much of the same similar format, and just keeping the intensity up.
So during season, your intensity skyrockets?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Now, what are you guys doing as far as for keeping the injuries away?
I mean, as long as you're hitting technique properly, there should be no injuries. So just making sure that everyone knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
And keeping it safe.
Okay. Excellent. Good. Okay. So here's the question that I wanted to know. Do either of you guys have a signature move in wrestling? And if you do have a signature move, I want to know what it's called and maybe a quick little description of it. Well, let's go to Victoria first on this one.
Oh, I mean, I have a favorite move, and then there's a signature move.
Okay, what's your signature move?
Favorite is the fireman's carry, or it's a fireman's throw. And it's just very cool because you're throwing them in the air, and it's real slick. And
I got you. We don't want to give any secrets away either. So cool moves are cool. So How about Sean? How about for you?
My signature move would honestly be the inside trip. It's just putting my leg kind of in a position to where they can't move it, and I put all my weight to them, to that leg, and they fall over.
Okay. Now, is that your favorite move also, or is that just your signature move?
It's my signature move.
Okay. Excellent. Good. Okay, so actually what I want to know now is what are you guys' goals for the season? It's coming up. I'm seeing excitement. So season, what do we want? 1 word or less? No, I'm just kidding. 2 words or less. What do you want? No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead and tell me. Sean, do you want to say what you want to do?
I'm going to be a 2-time league champ, and I'm going to punch my ticket into state and become the state champion.
Woo! There we go. Okay, we're running out of time. So Victoria, how about for you?
I'm going to be state champ.
Oh, she's going to be state champ. Now, October 7th, we have a big tournament coming up at Dos Pueblos. It's going to be a fundraiser. Really quick, Coach Bernard, I know it's October 7th. It starts at 9 a.m. Any other information to go with that? We've got a little bit of time left here.
Wrestling starts at 9 a.m. It's one of our fundraisers, so we have another tournament in season for the JVs, which we'll also host, at Dos Pueblos as a fundraiser. All I can say is, come hungry, right? We're going to have a concession stand. We'll have, great tournament. We already got a whole bunch of teams committed to come. It'll be good, good for everyone, good for the team, and good for the fans.
Okay, excellent. Now, and I do know, so if this is a fundraiser, I mean, how can somebody out there that actually loves wrestling, that wants to support, can they end up seeing this?
So this is out. We're throwing the tournament with the Tri-Counties Wrestling Association, so okay. TCWA. So this October 7th tournament. And so it's out there on USA Wrestling, also Cal USA Wrestling. So for California, just a Google search on TCWA will lead you to those details.
Okay, awesome. TCWA, everyone. Excellent. Well, I know that they have some lofty goals this year, and we're super excited to get the season underway. Thank you guys so much for coming out here and being a part of Teen Sports Radio, and wish you guys awesome season. And back to you, Erica.
Oh, thank you so much, guys. We appreciate you. We're going to send you lots of love for October 7th, and we're out of time. for another week. Looking forward to you next week. Heather, where are you going to be next week? Do you know?
Well, next week, I actually think I'm going to be talking about some nutrition. We're going to be getting Mr. Ivan from Ivan Bar. He's one of my sponsors. I'm going to get him on and come out and bring us some bars. Yeah.
Nice. Oh,
so we're excited about that. He's got a great story.
Beautiful. Looking forward to it.
You're going to get a bar. You're going to get a bar.
Thank you. Thank you, Heather. All right, let's hug it out this week.
Awesome.
God bless. We're in a renaissance. See you next week.
I'm unstoppable. I'm a Porsche.